All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna check out its local search and social and city search here. Both combined, see if they got BSS. So back in the GBC universe, we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. Yeah, more on that pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And this is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got the highest intent people over on the left. We got our white FSIC in a graph there. Highest intent people searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city and social search, so searching on social media and on Google. And that's what we focus on here, BSS. That's what our video is here about, the highest intent people. Then way over on the right, we got our sister brand, the lowest intent people, and I say people that they ain't searching for a boudoir photo shoot right now, and basically all of them don't even know what boudoir is. I got to reach them through interruption ads, Facebook and Instagram, and we are that's our sister brand. We're talking about BLCS over there. The name is Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, and currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ad spend. All right, so now to BSS. It's boudoir search sameness. We don't want to have this, but this is what kind of a diagnosis that a lot of people do have. And it means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0, can't have that. We're dying a quick death if we got 0. That means we're on page 2 and deeper. The reason that's so bad is we know we have the data. Approximately 80% of all Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're visible to approximately 80% of the market. We're dying a fast death. Now, 1 slot on page 1 Google is also not good enough. We're there. There's 9 other slots. So probably 1 other boudoir photographer per slot. So what's a buyer? We don't stand out. We don't look different. We don't look unique. So what's a buyer going to do? They're clicking open every single link, every single website, submitting every single contact form, and they are price shopping us, getting the best deal. Our margins being destroyed, and 1 slot on page 1 Google, that's dying a slow death. So we do not want either of these scenarios. And 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Everyone accepts it's normal, everyone accepts it's common, but it's not normal. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search in only 10 days. So I know that it's not normal. I mean, something's broken. The foundation is broken. Now, these 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which everyone knows about. Some people get new gear, new iPhone, new camera. They're on their Google Maps profile. They're creating a website saying they shoot boudoir, competing with us for page 1. They are, they're posting them on Facebook groups that they now offer boudoir. So everyone knows that's just kind of natural over time. More boudoir photographers, same number of buyers per city makes it a little bit harder every single day for each boudoir photographer to get clients. Now, this new one is the false belief of page 1 equality. A lot of boudoir photographers seems to have always have accepted that. It seems like every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And yeah, I was slot 8 on page 1. Then some new boudoir photographers enter the market. Now I'm page 2. And it's like, well, that's simply how it is. Hopefully they delete their website and Google stops indexing them. So maybe I can get back on page 1. But no, this is 100% incorrect thinking. This is a false belief. What it is actually true is Google will give as many page 1 slots to whoever wants to put in the effort to acquire them. And again, I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 on Google in only 10 days. So this falsely page 1 equality really holds. Actually, it's the #1 killer boudoir photography businesses that I've seen. So it really holds boudoir photographers back. Now we're able to break through it. Next, we know that boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Yeah, I mean, look, dude, if we're on, if we got 0 slots on page 1, then we're on page 2 or deeper. Approximately 80% of the market's never even seen us. We're disappearing a fast death, or we're dying a fast death. And if we got 1 slot on page 1, we look the same as everyone else. We're dying a slow death. In both cases, being a disappearing boudoir photographer is actually it is actually a precursor, kind of a warning signal to our boudoir photography business will eventually disappear as well. That it's a signal that we're going down that path. But luckily, we now have a solution. We have discovered through rigorous testing that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. Works exactly as it says. Social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest boudoir buyer intent keywords. So we show up there for those searches. And it's doing this kind of like the backside of the Andes Mountains, where the snow on top melts into small streams, small rivers. That's social search saturation. And then it all flows into the large Amazon River. And that's page one of Google search. But we gotta do the right stuff, saturate social search first to have any chance of being page one of Google search and like having a ton of links there. Now, this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually, that can actually successfully compete against market saturation and still allow boudoir photography business to grow in relatively fast time. Where the only other option is having a large, well-known brand, but that doesn't satisfy the relatively fast time requirement because that takes minimum 5 to 10 years. And actually, SQ methodology, it's one of the things I've seen is I believe it can increase the speed of actually achieving a large, well-known brand by my estimate is 8x. So that imagine using this, having the large, well-known brand, but still utilizing SQ methodology, basically be unbeatable. So here's an example here of successfully fighting against market saturation. Let's say we're in San Francisco, there's a million boudoir photographers, we're one of them. Everyone's got their website, saying they shoot boudoir. So everyone's trying to compete page one on Google. And as a result, like, dude, this competition is insane. We got to crank SQ methodology up to the max to have any shot at competing in this marketplace. So we do that, and let's say we do it for all the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords across social search. And so what we do is, let's say we're able to take up the first 300 slots for all the highest intent keywords across all social search. As a result, that flows on to Google, and let's say that gives us, the first 300 slots on Google as well. And there's 10 organic slots per page on Google, so we're taking up the first 30 pages. And we already know approximately 80% of buyers ain't even ever hitting page 2. So they'd have to essentially go to page 31 to find our competitors. So basically, anywhere any boudoir buyer looks, social search or Google search, dude, we're the only ones there. And basically the only ones they can find, unless they put in a lot of effort to scroll a lot more pages. And so whose business will be growing? Most likely ours. Whose business will be shrinking? Most likely all the 999,999 other competitors. So again, this is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to have a chance to still grow in the face of more and more market saturation. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. Initial benefit, we get more slots on Google page one. We get another second initial benefit, which is every time we get a new link on page one, we are kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. This is an awesome benefit because we know page two and deeper, approximately 80% of buyers are never going to find them. We turn them into disappearing boudoir photographers, and eventually they exit the market, and we're no longer price shopped against them. And for approximately 80% of buyers, we're actually stopping price shopped against them because they'll never even go past page one to find these people that we got on page two and deeper. And page one visibility actually is boudoir search visibility for us. So this is where the GBC universe recommends hitting the recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one on Google. That's because we're going to dominate, look way better than everyone that's got a 1 slot, which will be basically anyone. And in the very, very rare case someone has 2 slots, our 3 slots will still dominate them as well. Now, we also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. Thankfully, thank the universe, we now have a solution, S-cubed methodology, which allows us to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now, my results using S-cubed methodology. So I actually wanted to rank for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate page one on Google. I started with 0 out of 10 slots on page one on Google. And I exclusively ran S-cubed methodology. And let's see my results. So here we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. slot 3, me, slot 4, me, slot 5, me, slot 6, me, slot 7, me, slot 8, me, slot 10, me. So anyone looking for this, so I went from 0 out of 10 slots to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. And did anyone searching this term? Obviously, I'm going to be the one they're clicking on. I mean, come on. So these are the results I got utilizing S-cubed methodology for myself. All right, we're at the main event here. And check out this Boudoir photography business. Looks like we're going to Ottawa, Ontario. Seeing if we got BSS for their city search or what. All right, so we're going to Ottawa. And so here we go. Here we go. Boom, we got one. Let's see. All right, so our results. So we got 1 out of 10 slots, page 1, Google search for city. City's always harder than local search. More competitors. So yes, we do have BSS, and we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1, Google search. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness at either the local or the city level, meaning either got 0 or 1, or 1 slot on page 1 on Google, and you're seeing the market's simply going to get more and more saturated. It seems like a new boudoir photographers remember joining every single week about. And also you're seeing with AI that, man, a ton of people are going to be losing their jobs more and more into the future. And the last time that happened, COVID, there was an explosion of boudoir photographers. So you've decided that, hey, you need to prepare for AI, pushing more, increasing the supply of boudoir photographers, then competing for the same number of buyers in the market. And you've decided, well, page 1 Google search, dominating that seems to be the best way with the highest intent keywords, which flows from dominating page 1 search of Facebook search, TikTok search, Instagram search, and YouTube search for those same highest intent keywords. Google's just a byproduct of that. Google's the end result. But you want to dominate on Google, so you realize with S-cubed methodology, you got to dominate on social search first as well, which kind of hits 2 birds with 1 stone. So you're seeing market's going to get more and more saturated. You've realized, especially looking at this picture, that page 1 equality is a false belief. Having 0, 1 slots on page 1, false belief. That's simply normal. It's not. And that we can actually take as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort for. And you're seeing that S-cubed methodology is the best way to do that. To achieve page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, and achieve page 1 visibility, or boudoir search visibility. And also, the back end, literally the back end extra bonuses from doing this S-cubed methodology, which would be our your business, your brand name is more tightened around these highest intent keywords, which means higher chance we show up in Google AI overview at the top of the search, higher chance we get featured in AI search for ChatGPT search, Claude search, whatever, Perplexity search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search, because all these bundling of this history, this kind of momentum around these highest intent keywords. And AI search is going to become more and more prominent. And last time I looked at AI search, it only gave 3. For a whole city, it gave 3 boudoir photographers. And so these are extra bonus things on the back end of doing S-cubed methodology. There's literally no downside to S-cubed methodology. It's like 5, 6 different upsides, upshots. And you're also seeing if someone else does it in your city before you, they're building up momentum for all these things. And you would, if we're already working with someone else, you'd have to do S-cubed methodology on your own. um, figure out how to do it and implement it, and then sustain and actually do double the competitor in your city to catch back up and exceed them. So, if you decided, hey, you gotta get rolling on this because you see what's gonna come happening. AI search has become more prevalent, and you decided, hey, this is the path forward, SQ'd methodology. Then shoot us a DM. Um, we are not doing new patient intake right now. Hospital's closed, but when we do new patient intake, we will open our DMs. And so no, you cannot DM us right now. DMs are closed. But when we do open for new patient intake, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for S cubed methodology in your city. We also got to check, if we're already working with someone in your city right now, then we cannot work with you. And we got some other things we look at as well if we do have a slot open. But shoot us a DM at the time. We'll see if you qualify.